these things started happening, and she started, going to her outside sources too, and her parents and friends were like, he's controlling, he's toxic, which they were right. They were right. And because we drew it out so long, she eventually ended up cheating on me. And I was like, man, like it sucked. And the way I found out was terrible. I was talking to that guy's best friend at the bar, and I was like, yeah, my girlfriend works there. And he's like, oh, what's her name? And I was like, yada, yada, yada. And he's like, my best friend's dating her. And I was like, huh. And then just recently she made a post on Facebook that they've been dating since January 1st, and we didn't break up till like March. So I was like,
Yeah.
like, wow.
That sucks. And it would be so easy to sit here and be like, fuck that that
Yeah.
person for, doing XYZ and,
Oh.
and getting her. But we talked about this long before the podcast, but it's like it to sit here and do that, it would be one way to take on it. But like you said, one of the biggest things, it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying?
It is 100%.
And so like you said, like the controlling, and it's like it, it's hard to say whose fault it was, left or right, because like you said, there was an elephant in the room, and again, it's two-way street for one of you guys to bring it up and talk about it and actually get real deep and figure out some long-awaited things. But because it kept building up, because neither of you guys talked about it or got real about it, it led to this situation where it became trolling, and she, felt controlled, so she wanted to find other ways. Now, I don't think it's ever right to cheat 100,000%. I would in my mind, I'm thinking, I would have the balls to go to my fiance and be like, I'm out. Like, I'm done. It's over.
Yeah.
And then go do whatever the fuck you want, because at that point you can. You literally, but that, like, the person you're with, you're promising yourself to them. So every minute of every day, they are expecting you to promise yourself to that person, and you commit to that person, and you love that person. So if you want to go do all that shit, you just have to take the balls and 5 minutes of your time to say 2 sentences and saying, hey, I'm leaving you. And then bounce. And then go do whatever the fuck you want. But, like, to be able to cheat, like, that's just, it's not okay. Because you are breaking that bond. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying this is the right way, too. But I'm just saying at the fucking bare minimum, tell somebody in their eyes, to their face, that it's not working out. And you don't even have to explain yourself. But you need to let that person that you're cutting your ties. Mm-hmm. So they don't have to, like, they're going to worry, but they know that you're your own person again, and you don't have to be committed to me.
That's the thing, man. Like when you get cheated on, it's hard because you all you do at first is you blame them, and you're like, oh, they're the reason, like they're a bad person, they're this or that, and then you start to realize it just makes you feel worse. Like you start this sitting on this anger and this hate, and that turns to suffering and sadness and depression and loneliness. And what we really need to do is look at yourself and do some introspection and be like, I was controlling, I was toxic, I was insecure, and now that I'm out of that situation and looking back, I've changed so much, and it's a blessing from God. Like, I praise God every day. And I mean, and she's out there now and she's still with that guy, and they seem happy, and I'm so happy for her. Like, I want to make that very clear for anyone that's out there. I hope if you guys are in a situation where you feel like you're the controlling one or you're being controlled, that person, like, you have to look at their background. And because some people see the world through a broken lens.
Yeah.
And they try to control things because in their life they never had control over anything.
Yeah.
And they're just scared to get hurt. And most of the time it never comes from a place of like, oh, I just want to control you because I like to dominate. And like, it's not what it is. It comes from a real place.
Yeah, because someone was hurt, and that's literally the key with, like, almost everything, abuse and pain and all those things. We are who we were taught and or experienced. If our parents beat us, we have a likely good chance we're going to beat our children. If we experienced a beating or something even more personal, I mean, those things you could pass on because that's what happened to you. And so it is really hard to, like, look through the, like someone cheated on you, not to be like, it's all their fault, to actually, like, look back and analyze yourself. This led to this because of XYZ. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many different ways this could have gone. I mean, you could have sat down, one of you could have, like, pointed it out, or she could have been like, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, or at least tried. That's, me and you are kind of at a loss. I mean, you especially, because, you tell me everything that's been going on, but it's like, it sucks that we never to this day really got a why. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we all know that she liked somebody else and she did it, but, like, why wouldn't she tell you? Why wouldn't she just leave you? Maybe she was scared. Maybe she was hurt.
Yeah.
Maybe she still didn't know until it took 2 months of dating somebody else to finally actually tell you to break up.
Yeah, I think that's really what it was. Like, I'm not to, not to defend my ex. It's just like I think that she was still confused or not of whether she like truly loved me, and she didn't want to hurt me. And that's a
Yeah.
lot of times when you're the cheater, you're in that position where you're like, if I tell them, I will crush them.
Yeah.
So, and also if you have like me, for example, if she were to tell me that, I would have freaked out.
Oh yeah.
Like I would have, I'd have been so upset, and she would like been like, oh, I don't want that to happen. Like I don't want
Yeah.
conflict. So she was just
She
trying to
doesn't.
take the path of least resistance,
Hmm.
which makes sense, but
If you made that path or not, for her to take it or not, it's still, it's just so hard to understand. You know what I'm saying? It's like you guys had your issues, but like I could
yeah,
personally know, like you guys, you haven't hit each other,
no,
you haven't been abusive,
no,
you haven't done all the things that are genuine red flags. There's some
no,
mental issues, there's some mental problems of how you controlled and how you handled things,
definitely.
but like you guys were just a couple 20-year-olds
That's the
dating
thing.
in college. Like it was just such like so raw, and you were learning. You
I'm
know.
so glad you brought that up, Gage, because like I said, I really want to make it clear to your viewers that if you are that person, if you are the controlling one, if you get labeled the toxic one, it's possible to change.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the end. You're not stuck as a toxic person. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and God forbid, let's say if you're like you're an alcoholic and you abuse your spouse or something. Like,
Right. Right.
there's always a road out. You can always change, and it starts with one step. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really just admitting you have a problem. Just like
Mm-hmm.
Alcoholics Anonymous, you like, my name's Garrett, I'm an alcoholic, and you have to admit you have a
Exactly.
problem.
You have to admit you have a problem.